All right. Good morning, good evening. I am Mindmore, and this is going to be a tutorial, kind of, on the Oritech Particle Accelerator. So this might be a better tutorial because this is not on a custom version or a custom world that FTB decided to do. This is running FTB Skies too, but it should be fairly simple, similar to what base Oritech is and the requirements and making all the different parts and pieces. Um, the first one I did on Ocean Block was probably a little bit weird because they changed a lot of stuff in Ocean Block to get it to do what they wanted. So what I'm going to do here is talk about this new setup that I have. Okay, so the last time I had this, I did two circles here, two circles here, and then two giant circles. Well, it's a bit different. So I've been reading a lot. I've been playing a lot in creative to try and figure out how to best do this. I still stuck with a smaller one, a larger one, and then a giant one, right? You could, I mean, I haven't done this myself. I've seen pictures of other people doing it where they take the small one and put it in here. And then they take the larger one and put it just around the edges. Okay. And then you have the massive one outside. So you only have one area where everything is for the particle accelerator. So let's get to looking at this. Okay. So the smaller one here, this is all just basically set up. So I set this all up with guide rings and one motor to start with, just to see what it would do and how fast it would go. I figured out it would get to about 1,000 like speed milliseconds, like 1,000 meters per second. And then it would give me a full redstone signal here, and I could tell it to change this guide ring here to go outside, right? And then to go into the second one here. So what I did is I just added a couple more motors here, there, and here, so that it would speed up the process. So it didn't take a long time having to do like, 1,000 rotations in like 10 minutes or some silly thing like that. So this gets up to about 1,000 meters per second. Okay. And then it shoots it off into this direction. Okay. This one here, I'll get to all the dimensions and size in a moment. So don't worry about that. This one here pulls in the particle and starts spinning it again. This over here is another redstone thing based off of the sensor here. So the sensor will output a certain redstone signal. The comparator will change that into a certain level. And this one gets up to about 35 to just over 4,000 sometimes. It just depends on where it is in the loop. Sometimes it'll be 35,000. Sometimes it'll be 4,000. Or 3,500. Sorry, I should correct myself. That'll give enough power. And then this thing here, the repeater, will then power the guide ring over here. It'll switch it from going that way to this way. And then it'll enter into the large, very, very large area here. This will take this from 4,000 all the way up to 20,000 for the different collisions that you have to do. So different versions, different games will have different speeds you have to get up to. So if you go to your your inventory and you go to the particle accelerator and you right click on it, okay, you'll have a little tab that'll show you the block drops, right, or whatever the first one is. You want to click on the particle collisions. And in there, it'll tell you what the requirements are, what you need to make a certain item, right? And then it'll tell you the minimum collision of energy that you need to make that item. Okay, so if I were to put this into the first one, this wouldn't work because it wouldn't get the 15,000 that it needs. I could do it with the first one with the overcharged crystal because it only requires 1,000, right? And so as you scroll through all the different pages, the different things that you can get, just depends on what you put in them, right? So if you want netherite scrap, you can do netherite and adamant dust, right? You want an echo shard, you can do a pearl and a piece of amethyst, right? You want a piece of platinum dust, 2 gold pieces, 2 coal dust will get you a diamond, right? Whatever you need to do, it has the certain limitations of what it needs to make that, right? So what this does here, okay, so once you go from the small one to the medium to the large one here, you've got this sensor here. You can change this as you please. So in here, it's got a rating of what you want. So if I need something that's say 10,000, then I just put in here greater than 10,000, right? So most of the time I'll just do 20,000 because it doesn't really matter, right? Anything above the level is all you need. And all of the requirements are all, I think at maximum is 20,000. So you get to all the different, you can do all the different things that you have. So I had this set up. I was trying to do some automation here, and it works, but then it doesn't at the same time. So if I want this to do it, I've got this logistical sorter set up on round robin. So it'll put one down here and it'll throw one over there. So what I want to do is I can take 2 coal dust. So 1, 2, and then I can throw them in here, right? It deploys one down here and you see the particles starting. Okay, it's doing its thing. The other one has actually gone over there and into the dropper. We'll get to that in a second. So you can hear it speeding up. Okay, and then when it gets to a certain level, you'll start see how this is lighting up here? This is detecting the redstone signal. And once it hits 1,000, it'll power that. Now it shoots off. Okay, it's in the next one here. It's getting spun up faster because of all the motors. You see here the redstone signal fires it off. And now it's in the last one. The last one here, detect the speed. Oh, and it just went off. So this pipe here comes into the dropper. Okay, the dropper is then turned on by the redstone signal that the sensor detects on the particle accelerator. Okay, it will then spit it out, and the 2 particles will collide. Of course, there is no motor here, so it won't really start going anywhere. So the particle will always catch up to it. And then once it's done, this will output the whatever you were trying to create. Okay, I've got an import bus on here, so that automatically will pull it out and pull it back into my system. On here, so this outputs a redstone signal when the speed is set. That will enable this redstone here. This is a create pulse repeater, so you can use, I think, any kind of pulse repeater as long as it's set to the right settings. This one is set to 22 ticks. I just had to fool around with this to try and figure this out. But yeah, I got it to where it was at 22 ticks, and then it would automatically hit this, tell this to deploy to the particle accelerator here, and then it would put the last particle that needs to be done there. And it's already, this particle that's going around is already at 20,000 at that point. So all of the requirements that are needed are coming right from there. And you saw how that took very little time to do. You can speed this up. You could probably put a couple more motors here, a couple more motors here, and then it would take a lot less time, but it will take a lot more power. So the reason why I don't really have that many more is because I'm not done building my mechanism. This is for different worlds, but I don't have unlimited power right now, so I can only do these once in a blue moon because this literally drains my entire system of power that I have. So yeah, now to the dimensions. Okay, so the small one here, this is 8 by 12, so 8 across and then 12 wide. Okay, you can fill this in however you want. You can use guide rings, you can use motors. You will need guide rings at the corners, okay, so that the particle can actually go around in a circle or a semicircle, whatever you want to call it. You do not have to do the movement that I have here, okay, the ones that go out and across. You could hook them all up into one big area where you have another guide ring that just flushes it back in and out. That's up to you guys. I decided I wanted to go big because, it's a sky world. I have nothing to worry about, right? I don't have to take anything down. So you need, at minimum, you need a sensor to detect the redstone if you're going to do it just like me. So a sensor, a comparator, some redstone, and then a repeater, right? I have the repeater there because then I know I get a good signal that goes at it, and not just a pulsing one that comes from there, right? Just so you get the right timing for it to come out. You could use those Oritech sensors. Those are from Oritech Things. I don't know if it's going to be included with Oritech, but that is here in the FTB Skies mod. So you have your particle accelerator, right? You have your guide rings, you have your motors, you have your power underneath, and then that's for the small one. Okay, the medium-sized one that we have here, that's 18 by 22. So 18 across and then 22 wide. Okay? Or whichever way you want to design it, right? It's really up to you. Same thing here. You can remove all of the guide rings except for the corners if you don't want them. You could put all guide rings in maybe one motor if you don't care about speed or how long it takes. You can do that as well too. Like if you don't have the power usage, you could do one motor and it will, it'll take a lot longer to do, but it'll still work each time, right? So once that's done, then it goes into the large one here. The large one is very big, okay? There's 90 motors on each side, okay? That's how I have it set up. You don't have to have 90 motors. That just makes it run really fast, okay? And it doesn't take a lot of time for it to give you the results. You could have 10 motors here and just go off and do other things in your Minecraft world. It's really up to you, okay? The whole thing is 100 by 100, 110 by 110. So all the way from, okay, so I counted out even from where the guide rings stop. So I counted out the extra blocks that are here so that you know where to start your next line. Okay, so 110 by 110 by 110 by 110. This one's equal. Okay, all the other ones are not, but this one is because the distance for these guys here has to be 10. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 here. Okay, so you're counting the diagonal off of this one because it's turned. And I think that's really it for this tutorial. This one was much easier to do because I had done it once before, and now with this Oritech Things mod on top of Oritech, it makes things a little bit easier because now you can detect the speed that the original particle accelerator over there in the distance is going from way over here. And you don't have to worry about the speed sensor, right? I left it here because I didn't remove it, but you don't have to worry about this speed sensor and getting the right redstone signals for each individual craft that you're doing, right? So that's really about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any other questions, let me know in the comments. And remember, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me and it helps my channel. And we'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.